Cadre. Just wanted to do a quick non-shave video and talk about the new CBL soaps. I know many of you have already had your shipment of his first release for a while. I held off and got my soaps first release and the delayed release all at the same time, so this is my first day enjoying them. So I just thought I'd do a quick kind of review of from the tub first impressions and what the scents were like. One of the things I want to say in general is that Chris, I think, is doing a great job in his scent descriptions, or somehow the oils and scents that he uses match up for my nose to what he's saying. It's not too unusual to read a scent description and be like, I'm not getting that, or you know, it smells completely different to me than what they're saying. But across the board, I've got 5 of his new soaps, and across the board, every single one of them smells like what he says it would, at least for the most part. So, Cigar Shop Indian is supposed to be primarily tobacco, and I get that. But it's not overpowering, it's not burning, that kind of thing. There's a tobacco and there's a hint of cherry on the back end of that. And something else I want to say kind of across the board with Chris's scents are they've got depth to them, they're layered. And so you're not just getting a smell, you're able to kind of pick out different notes, and they kind of come and go at different times. And I really enjoy that. I kind of like that it's not just a one note the whole time you're using that. So this one is primarily the tobacco. You can pick up on the cherry, and there's a little bit very underlying of something dark. I think he had amber in there, and that could be what's coming through, but some kind of a warm, rich base note to that. So following on the heels of Cigar Shop Indian is Cigar Shop Cowboy, and his website says he uses the Indian as the base for this one and adds in the leather and gun smoke. And just from here, taking the lid off, I can smell the leather. So I'll be interested to lather this one up, because from the tub I'm getting leather, and that's about it, but it's an awesome leather. It is I would say nice, fresh, clean, like newer leather, and not the richer, darker. Oh, so good. So we'll see where that goes. I'm interested because it's got the tobacco base, so maybe that's adding richness just to the leather smell. Russian tea. Love this one too, man. From the tub, I see what people are saying. They're talking about the holidays, the clove and all that. This one is clove rich, but so is Russian tea. I think from the tub, this one has a little bit less tea scent, like the Earl Grey tea, than the original Russian tea. But I don't want to compare the two. Just this alone smells awesome. So I would say this is probably my 4th tea type scent, and by far my favorite. But I like the spices. I love clove smell. So I would say that if you are not a clove person, this one might not be for you. But baking spices, all that stuff, that's my wheelhouse, man. That's my jam. The Shaving Cadre is supposed to be a couple mixtures of vetiver and a couple different citruses. Again, I'll be interested in lathering this one up. That's pretty much exactly what I get. If you think about that, and I'm gonna don't want to don't want to make your head too big, Chris. I don't want to overpraise you, but I am impressed with your scent mixing abilities, because this, you get the citrus and you kind of get the greenish, I want to say grass, but it's not a grass. Again, every time I use one of these, I'll describe it more, the scent a little bit as it's lathered. I'm more I'm more interested in the scents. I know his performance is great. You'll get lots of reviews about that. But to me, that's the big thing, right? You find a soap company that you know the performance is good, and then you go searching for the scents, and they're hit and miss. And I've talked about some where the names don't match up with the smells, or the smells are too weak or whatever. I think Chris kind of is hitting the perfect combination of the strength of the scent on these from the tubs. I would say none of them is less than a 3. The Russian tea, just because clove kind of gets up in there, probably closer to a 4 maybe, but not weak, not like where you're trying to search for it. Not smelling my pit, smelling my arm to reset my nose. So yeah, I mean, that one's great. You do get some citruses, but then there's also almost, it's tough to think about. Like I said, it's like a grass, but maybe more like a leaf, something like that. But not like, there's some citrus soaps that have like you're smelling the orange leaf, or the orange peel is kind of the bitter note. It's not exactly like that, but it makes you think of being in orchard with different citrus smells. But I like it because sometimes that they use that to describe where you're getting the bitter kind of outside scent to the citrus. That's not this. This is the inner, the fruit smell. But then the surrounding notes of it, the vetiver, is kind of like the setting that those are produced in. I'm gonna give it a shot. Last one is roasted oatmeal stout, KJ's favorite by far. And this one, I have to tell you, when I opened it up and I smelled it, I was like, that's different. But again, complex soaps, complex scents. Don't take one whiff and then put it away if you think it's a little weird. Let it sit open for a second, give it another shot. And then when I took it in deep, I'm like, oh, there's that oatmeal. KJ has said that this is his favorite soap by far. I don't know if I'd say that, but I get where he's coming from. But my wife had the same impression. She smelled it and she was like, okay, that's a little off. And I said, think of an oatmeal cookie and smell this. And she goes, there it is. So that's what I'm getting, is oatmeal cookie with a little bit of depth to it. And I guess that makes sense with the oatmeal note. So it's not oatmeal like in a bowl that you're eating for breakfast. It's more of like it's been baked in a cookie and it's got some spices and things behind it. Anyway, there you go. First impressions out of the tub for 5 CBL soaps. Look forward to what he's going to be doing in the future, and watch for them in some shave videos to come.